Will the United States of America be able to withstand the worst administration in the history of the United States? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, December the 19th. It is 2021, soon to be 2022, and it's a very important question to ask. This is, by far, the worst administration we have ever had, the biggest bunch of imbeciles ever to take office, the most amount of ridiculous policy changes, and the breaking and busting of America. Pretty scary when you think about it. You know, again, it's from mind control to the taking away of your freedoms, to trying to eliminate any competition, and of course the battle over, tax the rich, which is totally moronic to hear from these idiots, because the rich pay more taxes than anybody. Okay, you want to fix the tax problem, fix the tax code. Okay, but of course that would affect so many of our people in Congress and in government who make so much money anyways from the lobbyists, from the stealing of the United States piece by piece. But let's, by all means, let's continue to battle on the tax to rich, and of course, the party in power. Okay, the Democratic Party in power. And again, I am not neither Democrat nor Republican. I will make a case that both suck and are both criminals. Okay, but the current party, okay, who continues to beat on the tax the rich. Well, the rich pay more taxes than anybody. And I will have a special in my commentary about this at the end of the show. But they do pay more tax than anybody. And of course, Elon Musk said it best to Elizabeth Warren, okay, which is he'll pay more taxes this year than any person ever in the history of the United States. Okay. Again, you want to fix the taxes, fix the tax code. Okay, get rid of the loopholes. But of course, if you remember that this party is not the party of the little guy. This party is of the extremely wealthy and the extremely poor. Okay, because the extremely wealthy are big fans and big supporters because they want Marxism, communism, or socialism, because it will destroy any potential for competition for their businesses. Okay. And the very poor want the handouts. Okay. The middle class get the benefit of paying for all this crap. Okay. And get sucked in to bullshit that they spew. Okay. When you have idiots. Okay. That's what we have. That is what we're dealing with. Okay. I mean, there's already potential talk that Christmas could be canceled again with these mask mandates and potential lockdown. Again, I think if you look at the actual numbers, okay, and if we reported the flu the way we report COVID, we might find out that the numbers are very similar. And, some of the major corporations that get sucked into thinking that they had to honor the vax mandate, okay, are finally realizing that maybe that is not the case. And of course, Boeing is just the latest in a chain of the Fortune 500s that have said, you don't have to be vaccinated if you don't want to be. Because I think they are realizing that our freedoms are being stripped away. Now, I'm vaxxed, I'm boosted, I got it all. Should everybody get it? I don't know. I don't have that answer. But I don't think that the government should be making that decision for me either. I think that's where there's a problem. I don't know that we have enough proof that it even works. Okay. And so I think that becomes a problem. But of course, we're already seeing some major issues. But, of course, remember that, first of all, the Constitution does not state that the federal government is supposed to be the largest employer in the world. It states that first the city has control, then the county, then the state, and the federal government is supposed to be an overseer of it all and settle things, not be the waning power of everything. So, again, it's, and this has been going on for years. This is not this administration's problem, but it has been growing and growing and growing for years as they continue to try to strip us of everything that we work so hard for every single day. Okay. But of course, when you are dealing with takers and not makers, what does the federal government, whether they be Republican or Democrat, produce? They produce nothing but debt, but misery. Okay, they don't do anything for us. They continue to give our gas away as they drain the SPR, give our money away, let illegals come flooding into the country, okay, without documentation, give sanctuary cities, give the ability to steal $1,000 a day without being charged or arrested. Is that the country that we really want to live in? I think that is the bigger question. And if you don't think that's causing many of the problems, we'll throw in the paid protesters. Okay, listen, these protests do not just grow out of people that want to protest. These protests grow from a group that creates and winds up a crowd that are paid by, you know who they're paid for. I don't have to tell you that, and nor would I, but they're paid protesters. They are paid $15 an hour. They are bussed in to the areas, okay, to wind up a crowd and make something out of nothing. Okay. And, we can continue to, you can hide from it all you want, but what you're really creating is exactly what they want, and that is this party, to separate so they can conquer. Okay, separate and divide to conquer and turn this into Venezuela. And if you don't think it can happen, well, again, as I say week after week, at one point, Venezuela was the richest country in the world. Okay, but of course, Hugo Chavez and Maduro, they couldn't help themselves. They stole and they stole and they stole, and now Venezuela is a bunch of people looking for toilet paper. It is as brutal as it can get. And fortunately, the Build Back Better America plan, or the Destroy America plan, which is really what it is, okay, fortunately, Manchin continues to hold out, and it is more than likely not going to pass now, because, of course, we're getting closer, believe it or not, we're already getting closer to the next election cycle. And don't think that these moderate Democrats, okay, are going to want to get kicked out of office. We have career politicians. And why would anybody want to be a career politician? Well, you would have to think it probably has to do with money. Okay, because, the money that they make that is declared is not nearly what they really make when they make many of these crappy deals that never benefit the people of the United States of America. They benefit themselves. They line their own pockets at our expense, as per the usual. Okay, and of course, now you have some of these quacks putting pressure on banks not to lend money to companies that are in the fossil fuel industry. Well, let's be clear. Let's understand this. Okay. Fossil fuels are still one of the most important commodities in this world, not just this country, but in the world. They are still involved in the production of your electronic vehicles, of your electric vehicles. You need fossil fuels to produce those cars. We are not prepared to go past that at this stage. So you have to use fossil fuels to create your water bottles, your cars, your electronic vehicles, your catalytic converters, all the stuff that makes the energy greener, which is why the United States has the greenest area in the world. You have to use fossil fuels. But let's try to torture the fossil fuel industry, okay, and not become a producer. Let's by all means give back the power to China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia so they can bury us. I mean, already Russia and China are talking together, and you know what they want to do. They want to overthrow. They want to become the world leaders. They want to replace the United States as the power. Okay? And of course, if this administration has their way, they will. Okay, listen, by the sheer nature of every one of their actions, it is in destruction of the United States of America. Okay, because we want to become the Republic of America. Okay, the communistic or the socialistic or the Marxist of America. Okay, in the meantime, your supply chain is busted and broken down, and for no reason, but of course. That's one of the issues when you continue to try to add stimulus to the economy and you try to continue to manipulate the economy. Okay, you get exactly what you get, which is what the imbecile moron, Fed Chair Powell, did for us on Wednesday when he did basically nothing. He did what everybody expected, said we're going to stop QE or unwind it, and we are going to start raising interest rates. So what he should have done is raise interest rates right away. Because this inflation is so far out of control, it is just it's not laughable. It's cryable. It's sad, okay? Because we are paying so much more money everywhere that you don't earn enough. You are working at a net deficit. You are what would be known in the housing industry at a reverse equity, okay? Because not only are you losing money after every paycheck based on what it costs to live? Okay. The costs that they report to you are not anywhere near what they really are. But of course, as long as we continue to exclude our two major costs, they're always going to look better for them. But the CPI and the PPI numbers are total bullshit. It is a crock. It is a dream. It is a nightmare for us. Okay. Because they follow those numbers, but we know that the Federal Reserve does not change their models. They've been using the same ones for 108 years. Why would they change something that's broken? I mean, let's just keep breaking it. Let's just keep breaking it further. Right? Again, so your supply chain is falling apart, which has a dramatic effect. If you haven't been to the store lately, look at all the empty shelves that are there. Wait, we had retail sales collapsed in November. Okay. Now, you may say, no big deal. Well, I mean, it's Christmas. Now, everybody finds money for Christmas, whether it's tough times or great times. But we have empty store shelves. Okay. We've got all kinds of issues to create something for Christmas. And of course, you've got, a situation right now that, that you have China working on mind control. Okay, you've got us working on mind control. We have the taking away of your freedom, the taking away of everything that we have grew up for as part of our Constitution of freedom in the United States. Okay, and yet you have support for what they're doing. And is there really support, or is it just the loudest that are showing the true support? And that, I think, is probably more the case, is the screamers make it. But we don't have the representation from the voters who don't get off their asses and go vote. Okay, they just know how to complain to those that are in charge, and they bank and take advantage of that. And I think that becomes the bigger problem. And of course, now the NFL is joined in with, again, going back on what their words were, which we will not cancel any games. If you do not follow the COVID protocol, then too bad. Well, guess what? Because of the money, okay, suddenly this weekend they canceled 3 games, 1 yesterday and 2 today, which will be played during the week. And of course, why? Because of money. That's why. What is it a secret that we revolve around money as much as they want to complain to tax the rich and the money? It's about money. It's always about money because life itself comes down to 2 things. The first one is always money. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, and this is Todd Bubba Horwitz. It is Sunday, December the 19th, and we're a week away from Christmas, and of course, we're coming into a slow period of time, but remember to take care of our sponsors and at least check them out. And of course, we've got 2 brokerage sponsors, which I use both. I have other brokers, just to be fully disclosed. But again, for futures and commodities, there's the Capital Trading Group, CTG. They're the only ones I've approved for letter direction trading. They handle our brand new program, Day Traders Dean program, with the algorithm. Done okay, done pretty good. Had a flat week this week, but done pretty good with it. They trade all my accounts. They've got some great products of their own, and they're very good at customer service. But certainly, just check them out. Go to info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And our other great partner is Trade Your Brokerage. Again, I just say to you this, $10 a month. How can you not consider saving all that money? Okay. Forget about anything else. $10 a month. What is it? That inconvenient to open an account? Like I said, it's up to you. But I got to say to myself, if I can pay $10 for the same thing I'm paying $100 for now, does it make sense for me not to pay $10? Hey, anyways, Trader's got great customer service as well. And we have their APIs, which allows us to automate our equity portfolios for members at no charge. You don't pay more for Trader, you don't pay more for us. It's part of your equity membership. Hedgers have to pay a licensing fee for the software because, of course, hedging is a class, not an ongoing membership. And check them out. It's try.trader.com/Bubba. That is try.trader.com/Bubba. Our metals partner, and look, metals are cooking up a little bit here now. I don't think they're anything great. We're still short. But in the meantime, we do have a partner, and I believe in buying physical metals all the time. And I do all my shopping at Strategic Wealth Preservation. That's swpcayman.com/Bubba-trading. That is Sierra Whiskey Papa Charlie Alpha Yankee. Michael Alpha November.com/Bubba-trading. Check them out. And of course, you farmers, I wish you had for me a place like Family Farms to handle the stuff I don't want to do. But for you, they do have it. And it's called familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. That is familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. And of course, our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba-trading. That is patreon.com/Bubba-trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course, my weekly market report. So we'll get back there right now with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, December the 19th, and markets look kind of quirky. They look a little bit ugly. We took a little bit of a beat down last week, and of course, I'm always going to tell you how we did. I never hide from our results, but we're still right now we are long the S&P. And we are along the Dow. Technically, we are along the NASDAQ as well. But tonight or tomorrow, depending on how you do it, we will be reversing those to short. And we are short the Russell. And of course, on Friday, the Russell had a big turnaround rally. But again, that was not totally unexpected. But the markets do look very weak here. And they look like they are headed south. The only thing that might save them here is the holiday period. But we do remember December of 18 and what can happen. But in the meantime, they look kind of weak. I would not be surprised to see them all change. And it's interesting because as you come into the first 4 days of the year, of a new year, they're usually pretty wild in either direction. But we'll see. In the meantime, again, as I said, by tomorrow morning, we will be split. Short the NASDAQ, short the Russell, long the S&P, long the Dow. Okay. Gold and silver, I don't know. They shouldn't benefit from higher interest rates, but they may. Okay, but they don't look very good still. Now, yeah, they had a nice little pop. Wednesday afternoon they came all the way back down on the Fed. Thursday, Friday, they had nice rallies, but they really didn't go anywhere. And from where they are in the chart, they're in the middle of dreck. They're in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Now, again, as I will tell you always, as a trader, I am short paper gold right now, which is the futures or some of the ETFs. As an investor, I buy physical gold on a regular basis and store it. Okay. Because again, I do believe in the long-term growth. Like I believe in cryptocurrencies. I don't believe in cryptos as much as I believe in gold and silver yet, because again, still kind of new, still kind of not sure. So my investment there, although I do invest, is just enough. And if it goes broke tomorrow and the industry melts away, I won't lose any sleep. Okay. But it is, the Bitcoin has been under pressure the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it is getting clobbered. Now, again, it's still at 46,000, so take that for what it is worth. And platinum, again, continues to be struggling pretty greatly here, and we would be short that as well, but it is not liquid enough for us to trade. But I do think platinum is a great value proposition if you're a buyer. Okay. And of course, natural gas continues to get pounded, signaling a warmer winter, mild winter. Now, I just got my gas bill. It was still pretty damn high. The highest one I've seen in a long time with mild conditions. Wait and see what happens if it does get cold and it does get nasty. But you still got some issues over in the UK. And of course, we could solve those issues in 5 minutes. The same 5 minutes it took them to shut down, this great administration could just re-allow us to go back to what we were doing. And we could be a net exporter. And of course, we'd be paying a lot less. But why would we want to do that? If we're no way we can get universal basic income if we let the actual economy work the proper way, the way it should work. But God forbid we would have that happen. Okay. In the meantime, crude oil was up a little bit last week. And again, we're long. Look, to me, it's probably going to 100, maybe higher. Okay. I mean, again, it's one level at a time, but we are long and it is working its way back higher. Copper was pretty much flat. We're short copper. Interesting action. It was down huge. I can't remember either Wednesday or Thursday, and came all the way back. It's not like 13 cents. It was a giant move. Came all the way back, and then it was down a little bit on Friday. Again, it's hard. It was flat for the week, so that's what we'll go with. The bonds and notes, we're still long. And of course, interesting that they're still going or trying to go up. I mean, if interest rates are going to rise, which they should, then bonds and notes should go lower. But again, for the moment, we're still long. And the dollar was higher, which we are still long. And, as you look at the grain markets, okay, grains, we are long corn, short beans, short wheat. Corn had a nice weekend. It's looking to get to that $6 level. I think beans are very close to changing. Wheat looks pretty bad. Wheat's been down like 4 weeks in a row now. And it was the leader on the way up. But beans themselves have held. In the meantime, our position. And in the protein complex of the meats, they were all pretty weak. Now we're long hogs, and we will be short. We are long feeders at this very second, but tomorrow, because they're not open tonight, we will be short feeders, and we were already short fats or live cattle. Again, this has got supply chain issues written all over it. This has got issues in cost. There's a lot of issues for farmers, which it really hurts me, because even though farming has been, pretty much replaced by technology and other industries, it is still the backbone of America, and it is still those who supply us with food. Okay. And as we take a look at the softs, cotton, which we are short, was, I think, slightly higher for the week. Coffee, we're long, was higher for the week. Sugar was down for the weekend, we were short. Cocoa was higher for the weekend, we were long. And OJ, which we reversed midweek, has exploded higher. Obviously, must be some cold weather in Florida, but really what you want to watch is Brazil and the Brazilian real. But either way, those are the directions of markets and where they've been. And of course, Bitcoin, as I said, was lower. I don't know what to make of it. To me, this is the time of year that traders are gone. We have a skeleton crew on board. So just be careful out there. I wouldn't get too aggressive in here. Again, if you're investing in hedging, no worries. You're hedged. It doesn't matter. But from a trading standpoint, just be very cautious. It's a very quiet time. And typically, when there was trading floors, they would be skeleton crews running. And I assure you that the desks are working with skeleton crews the next 2 weeks because most people are on vacation. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. We're going to step out of here for our final break and come back with, of course, my commentary and my football pick for tonight. Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. And, of course, remember to check out our sponsors, and they're on the screen below as you scroll by. Give them a look anyways. You may find something that really works for you. Okay, for either CTG, Tradier, Strategic Wealth Preservation, Family Farms, check them out. Look, the worst they can do is you not want to go there, but at least check them out, give them a view. Okay, so as I said, I got an interesting comment last week on one of my either daily updates. I don't remember which one it was, but it was about taxes, and I railed about taxes, and I'm a big advocate of not paying taxes. That I pay what my fair share is based on the tax code. And some imbecile wrote me in and said, you talked the whole time about taxes, and what about the tax cut in 2017? And so let's talk about the tax cut in 2017. This tax cut in 2017 couldn't have been at a better time. Okay, it promoted more money to the Treasury than ever before in history. It promoted more working. If you remember, during that time with that president that you did not like, okay, that you all voted out. Well, you didn't all vote out. He still got 80 million votes, but that you all hated because he had a big mouth or whatever the reason was, that president only created the most amount of working minorities in the history of America, from African Americans to Mexican Americans to everybody. And when it came to some of the other things, he followed the laws of the world. But of course, you want to make it into a racism issue and an issue that you have no understanding of what's going on. Okay. And that is where Elon Musk said that Bernie Sanders, you're a taker, not a maker. Okay. And of course, Elizabeth Warren is an imbecile, because she is railing on him not paying taxes. Change the tax code. Why is nobody railing on Warren Buffett? Okay. Warren Buffett is the guy who bitched that he doesn't pay enough tax and his secretary pays more money in tax than he does. Well, Warren Buffett, you can write a check anytime you want to the Internal Revenue Service. Okay. There's no limit to what you can send in if you choose to. But let's remember why Warren Buffett doesn't pay as much tax as his secretary, because he has the ability to take a $100,000 salary annual and $12.9 million in dividends annually, which means the dividends are taxed at a much lower rate. So that's why you're not paying more taxes. Quit skirting the issues and taking advantage of a crappy tax code, and then you might pay the right amount of taxes. See, this is the point. This is the point that they don't want to say, is that if they would just fix the tax code, then everybody would have to pay more taxes. But as long as there's loopholes, accountants, lawyers, and people that don't want to pay are going to figure out ways to beat it. It's not the issue that they don't want to pay taxes. The rich still pay more taxes than anybody, either through their corporations or personally. Okay. And they support this country. They employ this country. They work this country. But keep bitching that let's tax the rich and you won't have a problem. Fix the tax code and then nobody will have a problem. In the meantime, let's get to football. Okay. Tonight, I don't know, with all the COVID, it's a crappy game, which should be a good game, but it's a crappy game. It's Tampa Bay, New Orleans. As you know, I don't like laying 11.5, 12 points. I certainly can't take it with New Orleans. So for my money, I'm going to take Tampa as just an ice cream sundae. I don't even know. I mean, look, I got them in my survivor pick because I still have them left. I can't see New Orleans beating them. They did beat them earlier this year, which is a revenge game. All the reasons support Tampa winning. But I can't lay 12 points on a backdoor cover, whatever it can be. But I do like Tampa, but you can't bet them on the money line. I don't want to lay 12. Enjoy yourself for a beer and a pizza, whatever you want to do. If you want to bet it, that's the way I would bet it. But again, if you want to pass it, I would pass as well. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. As always, I thank you very much for being here. We will see you back here next Sunday, the day after Christmas, if you're here. And I thank you for your time and listening, and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later. Bubba's Bottom Line.